Okay, I would like to read the summary of the novel The Lost Word by Arthur Conan Doyle. The first capture. There are heroism all around us. Edward Malone, a reporter on the Gazette, asks Gladys Hungerton to marry him, but she is only interested in having a hero for her husband. She hints that she might accept his proposal if he becomes famous. Malone dashes off to the office of the Gazette full of hope. Second capture. Try your luck with Professor Challenger. Malone asks his boss McArdle for a dangerous assignment. He suggests that Malone expose Professor Challenger as a fraud. Malone goes to the Savage Club and asks his friend Tharp Henry to tell him more about the professor. With Henry's help, Malone writes a letter to Challenger asking if he might visit him. He pretends to be a student admirer and asks for clarification on a controversial paper Challenger presented in Vienna. The third capture. He is a perfectly impossible person. Challenger writes back to Malone agreeing to see him. At the house, Mrs. Challenger warns Malone about her husband's temper. The professor speaks scientific gibberish to expose Malone as an impostor. They fight, and in the struggle tumble into the street. A policeman asks Malone if he wants to press charges, but Malone says it was his fault. The professor invites him back inside. The next capture. It's just the biggest thing in the world. Challenger and his wife argue over his unreasonable behavior. He tells Malone he will talk about what happened in South America, but only if Malone promises to tell no one else. He shows him Maple White's notebook with the drawing of the Stegosaurus and other pieces of evidence. Malone says he believes him and Challenger invites him to the Zoological Society. The next capture. Question. There is uproar at the meeting as, instead of giving a simple vote of thanks to the previous speaker, Challenger launched into an attack on his fellow scientists and insists that dinosaurs that still exist. As he cannot be trusted, it is agreed that three representatives will test his findings on behalf of the society by going out to South America. He will provide them with a map. The three are Professor Summerlee, Lord John Roxton, and Malone. Lord John invites Malone to his rooms. The next capture. I was the flail of the Lord. Lord John tests Malone's bravery and decides that he will do very well for this mission. He gives Malone a gun and tells of his experience in South America. Malone makes arrangements with his newspaper for reporting the story. Challenger gives them their final instruction and the three travelers set out from Southampton. The next capture. Tomorrow we disappear into the unknown. Malone gives some more information about his fellow travelers and introduces the men they hired to accompany them on the journey. Challenger to turn up unexpectedly. They leave the river steamer behind and head off by canoe. Next capture. The outlying peaks of the world. With the professor continually bickering, the travelers continue their journey. Malone describes the different landscape they pass through. They occasionally hear Indian war drums. They come within sight of the red cliffs of the plateau. The next capture. Who could have foreseen it? Unable to climb the cliff at the nearest point, the group decides to walk round, looking for a route up. They find a skeleton of a man who seemed to have been thrown into a patch of bamboo. Maple White has left clues to the entrance of a cave, but the way has been blocked by a rockfall. Challenger nests suggests they climb the column of rock and make a bridge across the chasm between it and the cliff by felling a tree. They are trapped when the bridge is destroyed by comets. The next capture. The most wonderful things have happened. The travel proved for Challenger. They start to explore the plateau. They see a family of peaceful iguanodons and a rookery of pterodactyls which attack them. When they get back to camp, they find their stores have been ransacked. The next capture. For once I was the hero. In the night they hear the terrible sound of the dinosaur being killed by another and catch a glimpse of a ferocious carnivore. They spend another day exploring but Summerlee insists they make plans to leave. Malone suggests he climb the huge tree in the camp so he can make a plan of the landscape for future reference. Climbing the tree, he encounters an ape-like human. The next capture, it was dreadful in the forest. Malone decided to go out for a walk at night. He sees evidence of human activity and falls into a trap dug to capture dinosaurs. He returns to the camp at dawn to find everything has been wrecked off. His companions are missing. The next capture, a sight I shall never forget. Malone is awoken the following day by a desperate Lord John who tells him how they were captured by the Apamen. Lord John escaped, but they must return to save the others. They do so and also rescue four Indians who had been held captive. The next capture. Those were the real conquest. One of the Indians they rescue is killed by the Apamen, but the rest are safely reunited with their tribe. The four companions agree to help the Indians in a final, decisive battle against the Apamen. The night before, they enjoyed the wonders of the lake. The battle is bloody but ends in victory for the Indians. Once more Summerlee insists they make plan to escape. The next capture. Our eyes have seen great wonders. Mellon describes some of the things the travelers saw on the plateau while they waited for a chance to get away. Challengers plans to escape using a gas balloon. With the help of a sketch given to them by one of Indians, they find a route back to the plains, through the caves, and are reunited with Zambu. A search party is waiting for them. The next capture, a procession. Mellon reproduced the newspaper account of the meeting of the Zoological Society and the sensation caused by the pterodactyl the travelers brought back with them. He goes to see Gladys, who has married a humble clerk. Lord John shares out the money he has made from the diamond he found and prepares to make another expedition to the plateau. Mellon says he will join him. And the next capture, Conan Doyle dedicates the novel to the boy who has helped a man or the man who helped a boy. To what extent do you think this was a boy's book? And that's all the summary of novel The Lost Word by Arthur Conan Doyle. That's all about my summary. Forgive me if I have a lot of mistakes. The last I say, wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.